video. So I rolled a random character concept for Baldur's Gate 3. If you don't know what Baldur's Gate 3 is, it is a video game, a computer RPG that is very much inspired and based on Dungeons and Dragons. So I thought, instead of making a Dungeons and Dragons character, like per se, why not use my random sheet, which I have here, to make a Baldur's Gate random character concept. And that's what I did. And today we're gonna complete the level 1 character sheet using Baldur's Gate character creation. The first thing I did is I randomized our character. So this character is what we're gonna work with. I'm not gonna take too much time on appearance. I know for a lot of people that's the fun part, but for me, I just want to flesh out a concept, a character background, which will give, which would translate into some mechanical character for Baldur's Gate 3. So I'm not gonna spend any more time on appearance, and this character is gonna be what we work with. So what I rolled is a half-orc paladin sage. So we're gonna see what that gives us. So first thing first, we have the half-orc. So let's see what we get. Okay, already we're working with something very different visually. But let's see our features. We have 9-meter speed, and I quite like using the meters instead of feet. So standard units, I prefer those standard units instead of the imperial system. So I'm just gonna write 9-meter in my speed. We have dark vision up to 12 meters. So I'm gonna write that here. We also have relentless endurance. Relentless endurance. I'm not sure. Endurance, which allows us once per day to avoid falling unconscious when we hit 0 hit points. Instead, we fall to 1 hit point. So pretty cool, and that's a feature they also have in Dungeons and Dragons. And lastly, savage attacks. Savage attacks. Hey, I don't. My mouse is moving on its own. I think I have. Okay, like that. Alright. Savage attacks. Here we go. I'm a bit crooked, so my writing is not the best right now. but okay. So savage attacks, which add an extra dice of damage when we deal a critical hit, which I feel like is gonna work fantastic as a paladin, because making a critical hit and boosting that with how would you call them? The smites. There you go. Boosting that with a smite is very much one trick in the bag of the paladin, and adding an extra dice of weapon damage is just gonna make that even more deadly. So, quite happy with that. So, that's it for our half orc. Let's see our class. So, paladin. What do we get here? I like that. Just the appearance, very pleasing in my opinion. Okay, so paladin, we're gonna go with we have lay on hands and divine sense. Okay. Oh boy. Lay on hands, which allows us to heal people, and we can cure people of diseases and poisons. We have divine sense. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think that's how divine sense works in Dungeons and Dragons. Here, it gives us advantage on attack rolls against celestials, fiends, and undead as a bonus action for 2 turns. Very interesting. Okay, and we also get our Channel Oath, which let's put our charges here. Channel Oath. We have 1 out of 1 for now. Okay. Not too bad. So that's what we get for now. Let's see our subclass. So here we have 3 choices. Oath of the Ancients. So you fight on the side of light in the cosmic struggle against darkness to preserve the sanctity of life and the beauty of nature. We would get healing radiance, and the Oath of the Ancients tenets. So that would be very classic, good paladin, which could be interesting. As a sage, I feel like Oath of the Ancients would work well with a very kind of typical paladin that's well versed in ancient knowledge, and just that could make a very good typical paladin. But let's check what we get with the Oath of Devotion. That would be the following: the ideal of the knight in shining armor. You act with honor and virtue to protect the weak and pursue the greater good. So this time, instead of this idea of light, I feel like Oath of the Ancient and Oath of Devotion have a feel that is more similar than the Oath of Vengeance, but this one is more I don't know, feels more noble and good, while the other feels more righteous, or not quite righteous, but just it has a certain feel which is hard to describe. But fighting on the side of light and life in general is not always necessarily good, if I think about it that way. But let's see what the Oath of Devotion would give us. It would have a holy rebuke, which grant an ally an aura that deals damage to anyone who attacks them with a melee attack. That would be interesting. And here, the tenets for the Oath of Devotion is courage, compassion, duty. Could be interesting, but I feel like the Oath of the Ancients would work better for the half-orc in this case, and the sage background. A sage is not always... I feel like a sage is always more on the side of balance than absolutely the absolute greater good. And the Oath of the Ancient feels more that way to me. But let's just check the Oath of Vengeance just to see what we get. You have set aside even your own purity to right wrongs and deliver justice to those who have committed the most grievous sins. That's interesting, but that's somewhat more extreme in a way, I feel. It tends a little bit more towards a little bit of evil in there, you know. You get the Inquisitor's Might, which gives your or an ally's weapon 2 radiant damage, and it can daze enemies. I'll say that's pretty interesting as a feature. And here we have the tenets: fight the greater evil and no mercy for the wicked. But once again, I feel like I want my sage to be more... This half-orc sage, I would like, well, her in this case, to be a little bit more nuanced. I would say that's what I would call it. And for that, the Oath of the Ancients seems perfectly fit. So we're gonna get the Healing Radiance Channel Divinity. There we go, Healing Radiance. And we're gonna have to kindle the light through acts of kindness and be a beacon of hope. Shelter the light and preserve our own light. So delight in culture and small joys. That's really where I feel like it connects with our background. So that would be good. Next we have our background. So that's already that's already decided. That's gonna be Sage. That gives us skills in Arcana and History. Arcana and History. Okay. And here are our abilities. So let's remove that for a second, just see what we got. So we can work with our strength and charisma. That should be the highest for us as paladin. What we're working with. So intelligence is our dump stat, and I feel okay with that. But then constitution, charisma. What can we do here if we give +1 to strength and +2 to charisma? We get +3 for those two abilities. And our constitution we're gonna have to boost at some point just by 1 to get a somewhat better constitution. Or maybe, can I boost if I, no, I cannot boost it if I do that. If I do this I could, but that feels a bit extreme, reducing two ability modifiers by 1 just to have an increase of +1 to constitution. I'm not sure I would be quite glad with that, so yes, I think that's what we're gonna go with. That seems very decent. So we have 16 strength. That's a +3. We have 12 dex +1. We have 13 constitution. That's a +1. Now 8 intel. That's -1. Oops. Wisdom is 10. That's a 0. Although, can I? Ooh, I think I like that better. I'm gonna change that. There we go. That's there, it's decided. That's a 10. And that's a 12. So +1 in wisdom. I like that for our sage. Feels better that way than to have no intel and no wisdom as a sage. Not quite what we would like. And finally, our charisma is 16, so +3. That's pretty good. Now let's check our skill proficiencies. So we have two choices between athletics, religion, insight, medicine, and persuasion. Let's see. Religion would work well with our sage, and that would not be bad as a paladin. I think I'm gonna go with that. And one last, athletics is a classic for paladins. Insight, medicine, persuasion. Medicine would work well with the oath of the ancients. Let me think about it. Do I want athletics or medicine. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with medicine here. So, finally, what we have. So we have Arcana and History. From our sage background, we get religion, and medicine. From Paladin and our race, Halfork gives us intimidation. There we go. That's pretty cool. So there we have it, and we can simply fill out the rest. So at level 1 we have 11 HP, 11 hit points. Our AC, I'm not quite sure what our AC would be, because I don't remember what equipment we get for starting equipment. So we're gonna just leave that to be determined. But we get a 0 initiative. There we go. Big old 0. Now I do believe we get saving throws in strength and wisdom, I believe, as a paladin. Dang, I don't see a way to. I don't see our saving throws on this page, unfortunately. That's a bit unfortunate. I'm sure we get strength as a paladin, but I don't remember if we get wisdom or constitution next. Well, I'm gonna have to leave that, unfortunately, open for now. I'm not gonna fill that in, but our skills that I can fill completely. So we have +2 proficiency bonus at level 1. So here, that's 0. That's +1. Here, +1. That's +3 athletics, +3 deception, +1 history, +1 insight, intimidation, that's +5, investigation -1, medicine +1. No, actually, medicine is +3. It uses wisdom, I do believe. So, nature, that's -1. Perception, we have +1, +3 for performance, +3 for persuasion, +1 for religion. Sleight of hand 0, stealth 0, and survival +1. And there we have it. That's as far as I can go here. And that would be our complete character, ready to go in Baldur's Gate 3. And I feel like that would be a very interesting character to roleplay. A maybe soft-natured and well-thought paladin, a half-orc that does not correspond to what you would think of a typical half-orc, much more calm, much more wise than you would think on that. And with that, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed creating this character with me. I hope you can see the vision a little bit and imagine what this character would be like to roleplay. And on that, I'm gonna see you